Hey Leah, I thought I'd show you so that you can look at this whenever you want, and then I'm still looking forward to talking with you, but for me, of course, visual is everything. So you already know that to get to assessments, you click on activities. The only thing in this course is assessment. Um, so we're going to add an assessment. And these two, when I look at the other CSET classes, when there's an exam, it's this kind, where they take it, but they're not given the correct answers. A lot of times in classes we use this, they can take it multiple times, they're given the right answers, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to leave it on exam and click next. So here's where you input anything you want. I'm just going to make it test, a description, of maybe how many times they can take the answer the questions or take the test or whatever you want to make it. Normally, I always leave this at 100, just because why not? It doesn't really matter. I don't usually fill out any of this because you really don't need it, and they already know why they're taking it. So we're going to go to next. So here's where what I see, at least for the biology one, is they have an unlimited amount of time to take this test. However, most of the time they're allowed to take it 10 times. So they're not given the right answers, but they can take it, obviously as many times as they want. Sorry, I'm not speaking very well today. Here's where you get to choose whether you want the questions to be randomized or whether you want to randomize the answers in the multiple choice questions between the tests. I usually do this so that people can't try to write down, A, B, C, D, A, B, if they could figure it out. This way it's always presented to them in at least a slightly different format. I can't remember how CSET is set up, whether it's chunked sort of in content areas or topics. If it is, then I guess we wouldn't randomize the questions. But if it's a free-for-all and you can have for me, a DNA question next to a plant physiology question, then you could randomize the questions, and it really obviously forces them to look at it. I know I'm telling you things you know. So that's the setup. Section 1, typically I only use a section 1, but you could use different sections for different topics. That's about all I can think of. So when we add a question, then we get to say which kind it is. Most of ours are multiple choice, I think. You could have a section 1 that's multiple choice, a section 2 that's short answer, or fill in the blank, whatever you want. So I'm going to say this is multiple choice. You can copy and paste into here. So you're putting obviously your question here. This is going to be really familiar to you. You can upload a file. You can insert a picture. Say if you want to insert a map. So then you would go and insert a picture. I haven't really used upload a file much, so I'm not sure if you really could do that with an image. I'm not quite sure. So here you could either copy or paste. You do have to insert each individual option. You can put hints here, but I don't know that you would for this. But if this was just a different kind of course, you could say, remember back to chapter 2 or whatever. And then for the correct answer, you hit the radio dial here. If you want more than 4, of course, you add here. This is what section do you want it to be in. Most of them are weight 1. Of course, if you wanted to weight some differently than others, you could, but weighting it with 1 just means it's all equal. We don't really care what the weight is. Okay, so I started talking and forgot to hit record. Apparently I'm having a tough day. This is section 2, so we're going to add a section 3. And this is exactly how I added section 2. And then here's your description. Here are the critical thinking questions. Then you're going to add a question. So here's maybe where you could put your short answer essay for those that come in CSET. And it's very straightforward. You've done this before. So here's your text about that particular question. I want it to be in section 3. I can upload a file, I can insert a map, still weight 1 or whatever weight I want to do. So let's go ahead and save this. So you can see where it explains that this is where they can type in the box. So it's really pretty straightforward. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it, but this way, that's the nuts and bolts, and then we could go over, you know, any particular weird things you run into, or how you want to make it happen. Thanks, Leah.